Phoebe Cates. Phoebe Belle Cates Kline, born July 16, 1963, is an American former actress, singer, and model turned store owner known primarily for her roles in several films, most notably Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Gremlins, and Drop Dead Fred. Early life. Cates was born in New York City to a family of television and Broadway production insiders. She is the daughter of Lily and Joseph Cates, originally Joseph Katz, who was a major Broadway producer and a pioneering figure in television, and who helped create the $64,000 question. Her late uncle, Gilbert Cates, produced numerous television specials, often in partnership with Cates' father, as well as several annual Academy Awards shows. Her father and maternal grandmother were of Russian Jewish descent. Her maternal grandfather was Chinese Filipino. Cates' mother was born in Shanghai, China. Cates attended the Professional Children's School and the Juilliard School. At the age of 10, Cates started modeling, appearing in 17 and other teen-oriented magazines. A few years later, she wanted to become a dancer. Eventually, she received a scholarship to the School of American Ballet, but quit after a knee injury at age 14. Next, she began a short, successful career as a model. Cates said that she disliked the industry. It was just the same thing, over and over. After a while, I did it solely for the money. Career. Dissatisfied with modeling, Cates decided to pursue acting. She was offered her first part in the movie Paradise 1982 after a screen test in New York. She was uncertain about doing the nudity the role required, but her father encouraged her to take the job. Paradise became Cates' film debut. The movie was filmed in Israel from March to May 1981. In the film, she performed several full-frontal nude scenes while still a minor, age 17. The movie had a plot similar to the Blue Lagoon 1980. She also sang the film's main theme song and recorded an album of the same name. In a 1982 interview, she recalled having trouble with the change of career because as a model, she had to be conscious of the camera, whereas in front of the movie camera, she could not. Cates later regretted being in the film. What I learned was never to do a movie like that again. Cates claimed that the film's producers used a body double to film nude close-ups of her character without telling her. According to her co-star Willie Ohms, she will have nothing to do with the film. She's really upset about it. She won't do any promotion with me. Later that year, Cates starred in Fast Times at Ridgemont High 1982, which featured what Rolling Stone has described as the most memorable bikini drop in cinema history. She was quoted as saying that she had the most fun in filming that movie. The role led to her appearing on the covers of teen magazines such as 17, Tiger Beat, Teen Beat, and others. The following year, Cates was in the comedy Private School 1983, which co-starred Matthew Modine and Betsy Russell, and for which she sang on 2 songs of the film's soundtrack. In 1984, Cates starred in the TV miniseries Lace, based on a novel which Shirley Conran had written. She played the role of Lily to get away from a sameness in her movie portrayals. During her audition, she so impressed the writer that he wanted to hire her there and then. Cates struggled with the portrayal of a bitter movie star because, despite her character's vicious persona, she intended for the audience to sympathize with her. She did not read Conran's novel, on which the movie was based, because she did not want to have a fixed image. Her best-known line in the film, "Which one of you bitches is my mother?" was named the greatest line in television history by TV Guide in 1993. She also starred in the sequel miniseries Lace Roman II. In summer 1984, Cates co-starred in the box office hit Gremlins 1984 for executive producer Steven Spielberg, the highest-grossing film of her career. 6 years later, she would reprise her character Kate Beringer in the sequel Gremlins 2, The New Batch 1990. In June 1984, Cates made her stage debut in the off-Broadway play The Nest of the Wood Grouse, a comedy by Soviet writer Viktor Razov, at the Joseph Papp Public Theater. Cates said that while doing the play she felt a certain freedom and a certain connection with acting that I had never really felt before. Cates appeared off-Broadway again 2 years later in Rich Relations, written by David Henry H. Wang, at the Second Stage Theater. In December 1989, Cates made her Broadway debut in a revival of Paddy Chayefsky's The Tenth Man at the Vivian Beaumont Theater. In 1988, Cates told an interviewer, "There are simply not that many good parts in film, but theater has tons of good women's roles. I think of theater as what I like to do most. I've only felt happy as an actress for about 2 years. I rarely watch my film work." Cates continued to appear steadily in films through the early 1990s, usually in supporting roles or as part of ensemble casts. These include Date with an Angel 1987, Bright Lights, Big City 1988, Heart of Dixie 1989, Shag 1989, Drop Dead Fred 1991, and Bodies, Rest and Motion 1993, the latter three also featuring Bridget Fonda. These films suffered from mixed to poor reviews and failed to make an impact at the box office. Cates had been set to play Steve Martin's daughter in the successful comedy Father of the Bride 1991. Her pregnancy with her first child forced her to drop out. In 1994, Cates starred in the fact-based comedy drama Princess Caraboo 1994, which also featured her husband Kevin Kline. This was the last film Cates appeared in before seemingly shifting her focus away from acting to raising her children, Owen and Greta. In 2001, Cates briefly returned to acting for one film, The Anniversary Party 2001, as a favor to her best friend and former Fast Times at Ridgemont High castmate Jennifer Jason Leigh, who directed the film. In 2015, Cates provided the voice of her Gremlins character Kate Beringer for the video game LEGO Dimensions. Personal life. In the early 1980s, Cates shared an apartment in Greenwich Village with her then-boyfriend Stavros Murjos. She met him in 1979 after she went to her first night at Studio 54 with family friend Andy Warhol. In 1983, during her audition for a role awarded to Meg Tilly in The Big Chill, Cates met actor Kevin Kline. They were both dating other people at the time, but became romantically involved 2 years later. In 1989, they married, and she changed her name to Phoebe Cates Kline. The Klines moved to the Upper East Side of Manhattan in New York, across Fifth Avenue from Central Park, where they raised their 2 children, son Owen Joseph Kline, born 1991, and daughter Greta Simone Kline, born 1994. Owen and Greta appeared, with their parents, in the 2001 movie The Anniversary Party. Owen also appeared in the 2005 film The Squid and the Whale, and Greta pursued a musical career using the stage name Frankie Cosmos. In 2005, Cates opened a boutique, Blue Tree, on Madison Avenue in New York. Filmography. Film and television. Video games.